All right, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's about 9:30, August 19th, 2021, and I don't know what happened, man. We felt like it was all right, and then in the evening, I guess around 6 o'clock or so, the air mass just changed, and I got this terrible headache. And there's this smell in the air, like something is burning. So we're gonna have to look at that. The air quality. This you're looking at here is the sunset here. I did go to the South Shore. Wasn't really much going on there either. It was pretty, actually, it was pretty kind of depressing there too. I don't know. A lot of people just not going out today, but um, this was the sunset, so you can see all the color there, all the red. There's got to be some kind of smoke in the air. If you're experiencing any, headaches or not feeling well, this is probably why. Just bad air quality, and the wind just kind of, we had a breeze and then it just kind of dropped down. I did go to Mill Lake for a little bit here. Yeah, you can see the sky is just pretty junked up. It's the sky again. So here's what's going on with the air quality. We're actually going to start off with this because this is the Earth Null School carbon monoxide surface concentration. Now, what do you notice about our area right here? We are really socked in with a lot of carbon monoxide. There's got to be some kind of fire or something. This is a byproduct of fire. So there's got to be something going on. Either that or it's just an inversion trapping the pollutants. But very bad air quality today. I'm surprised that there was not an air quality alert in effect. If we look at the particles, you can see there's also some smoke particles in the air too as well over us too. So that's what I'm thinking is something's going on here. And when we look at the high resolution satellite, you can see some haze over our area here. All right, this here is from convection here, and some showers and thunderstorms that actually affected areas to the west of us. But you'll notice here there's some smoky haze over the Carolinas, and a number of fires going on here. Looks like in the Georgia and South Carolina, a number of fires. So I'm wondering if that's what we're dealing with here is some of this smoke that's from these fires that's getting up into our area, because the air quality is just, I mean, it was decent, and then the air quality just got a lot worse as the evening went on. It really did. This is the current satellite, and again, you can see, let's move this back. Let's move this to 48, so at least we can get an idea of what it looked like when we had the visible satellite, and we'll see if there's any smoke around. Sure does seem like it. I don't know what is going on with the air quality, but it really just took a nosedive this evening. And if you're noticing this, let me know, because this is quite a change. And you'll see why when we look at some of the observations across the area. This is the current radar. Not much going on. This is a cold front here. That will be moving through on Wednesday, but it's not going to come through until Wednesday. And this will hopefully clear the air out for us. And let me go ahead and look at some of the observations across the area, because 52 south at 5, that's Farmingdale. It got up to 62. There was a sea breeze. You can see the wind picked up 12, 13 miles an hour, but then the wind just kind of dropped in the evening. It's like we had a sea breeze, and the sea breeze just died. So well, I guess you could be right at the beach to get some kind of relief or whatever, because it feels like we're just kind of in the inland air here. This is a look at the current temperatures across the area. Temperatures across the area generally in the upper 50s, so it's a mild night. Unless you're on the South Shore, it's a little cooler in the East End, where we have some upper 40s and 43 in West Hampton, and also mid 40s on the South Fork. As you work your way into the city, you're dealing with temperatures in closer to 60 degrees. Work our way in New Jersey, also cooling off at night there, 46 in the airport west of Toms River, 51 in Toms River downtown. So let's take a look at what the high temperatures were today, because I'm sure some areas were quite warm. Let's see what we got. So Long Island generally in the mid-60s, so 66 in Carl Place. Mid-60s pretty much everywhere except the South Shore, which was in the low 60s. Same thing for mid-60s pretty much for the whole island, and low 60s out on the South Fork. The city had highs. Let's see, LaGuardia at 64, JFK 63. When we look at Islip, they were at 64. Central Park 63. Let's go looking at New Jersey here. Probably not quite as warm. The showers probably held things down a little bit. Or not. 66 at Miller Airport. But when you go to Whiting, there's a 71 there. And somebody's reporting an 81 All right, that's an official site, Lakehurst. So somehow it got up to 81 in Lakehurst. So some sites had a little more sun than others, I guess, and got pretty warm. That's quite interesting. Let's go look at the Wonder Map as well. We can also look at this as well. Some more observations in here. And this is not moving. So this is the problem with this site. It's a buggy. It doesn't always work all the time. Let's try it again. Nope. Let's try to load it again. I'll just close it down, and we'll try to load it again. See if we can get it to work again. There we go. This is a few more stations on it, so you get to see where it's cooler. But yeah, it's quite warm here. Carl Place, Mineola, 57. If you're on the South Shore, it's a little cooler there. Not by much, though. 51, 51 in Belmore and Wantaw. Other than that, most areas are either between 50 and 60 degrees. But if you go out east, you'll see it's cooler out in the Pine Barrens, where at least they're trying to get some radiational cooling. It's all right at the beach. But here, with that, we're starting to deal with that southwesterly flow, which is going to bring in the disgustingly warm air over from New York City and New Jersey. However, it's not that warm right now in New Jersey right now. It's cooled off, like I said. It's around 50. If we go ahead and look at the dew points, it does feel like the humidity has increased slightly. Dew point's still in the 40s, so it's not too bad. But we are seeing that increase here in the temperatures, and that is due to the changes that we're going to be talking about here for tomorrow when we deal with the weather. And it's going to be warmer tomorrow for sure. So with the air quality aside, let's talk about what we're going to be dealing with as we head into tomorrow. Looking at the models, you will see here that we have a little weak trough move through actually. This actually touched off some. Well, we can go to the Ventus-Sky site because this site we can actually rewind the radar, so it's kind of useful. So you can see there was some showers over New Jersey in the evening. You could see that, but they never really made it to Long Island. But actually, I will use this site because this is kind of useful for what's happening. So instead of a south wind, we're getting more of a southwesterly wind. So that means for areas that are inland a little more, change this to red. Your air is coming in from New Jersey, New York City, and pretty much this part of Long Island here is going to be stuck in this crappy air, this warm air here. All right, so you got to be on the South Shore or out east, otherwise you're going to be in this warm air that's been coming over the city, and it's like I said, the air quality is pretty bad in this air mass. So anyway, we'll look at this a little bit later. Let's go to the models here. So we got this high that's moving offshore, and we have a southwesterly flow tomorrow. You can see, looking at the isobars, you can clearly see that we've got that southwesterly flow following the isobars, almost a west-southwesterly flow, which is bad news for those who need a sea breeze because it will be limited to the South Shore only. It won't make it to the middle of the island. Fortunately, low pressure develops, brings a cold front through on a very strong cold front through on Wednesday. Much stronger high pressure builds. You can see tight isobars for Thursday, which means it's going to be quite windy and chilly. And that high will stick around Friday, bringing us another nice day. And then it starts to move offshore on the weekend, start getting that return flow. And then this would be the next system that possibly would affect the area. This looks like a pretty significant coastal. I didn't see this in the last model update, but a pretty significant coastal low there developing and tracking up the East Coast for Sunday. Before that moves away, and then Monday we've got another high building in with more nice weather. So you can see this is typical what you have at the trough in the east, but at least we have things moving through now versus what we were dealing with before. Let's go look at the upper air so you get an idea. You can see that trough. So here comes the trough right there. Look at how deep that is. So it's going to bring in some really cool air, get a break, and then boom, another trough comes through. You get a little ridging, and then another trough. So it's obviously not the kind of setup for a really stretch of really warm or above normal weather with these cold fronts coming through. So taking a closer look at our area, let's go back to the HRRR. which I'm really hoping we have enough of that 0ZH triple R. We have 27 hours of it, so let's take a look at this. So as you go tomorrow, you'll see it'll be dry. But you can see the way the wind is going to be coming from. The wind is going to be coming from a more westerly direction, and that means warmer temperatures. But we do stay dry for tomorrow. All right. But when we look at the temperature forecast, you will see that southwest wind really does warm things up quite a bit. If you're in New Jersey, North Shore, middle of the island, particularly from western Suffolk on, you're going to be going well above 70 tomorrow. It's going to be a warm day tomorrow. South Shore, you'll be in the 60s. There will be a sea breeze in the afternoon. It looks like it does develop the sea breeze and push it all the way in. Hopefully that's what happens. But there, we got that westerly flow, and that's the problem. If we look at the winds here, you'll see what I mean. Start off with that westerly flow, then it goes more south in the afternoon. So hopefully that'll help bring a sea breeze. And look, I don't like really hot weather, all right? So some people like it. That's fine for them. But in April, I prefer temperatures in the 60s. 70s are a little too warm, all right? We'll also look at the dew points, because I think they're going to be coming up. No, the dew points are still pretty low. We're still dealing with dry air. But again, we have to figure out, because you see where the air is coming from. It's coming from the areas in the Carolinas and Georgias to where these fires are. So we may have poor air quality due to smoke tomorrow. That is something that these models don't really show too much of. So be prepared for that. Even though there might be sunshine, we're may have some haze around from the smoke and bad air quality. Okay, so let's go to the next chance of precipitation, which would be, I got to go to the NAM 12 for this. And this would be that cold front that's going to come through for Wednesday. All right, so this would be our next chance, a major chance of precipitation. And this could be a strong cold front. It's actually developing a squall line. And you'll notice here, look at what we have setting up here. This is a setup of a possible severe weather. Whenever you see this type of thing, a V like that, there's support there for severe thunderstorm activity, particularly severe thunderstorms with strong winds. So that's a strong cold front right there, for sure. And that is going to be pretty impressive when that comes through. So the question is, does it hold together for Long Island or not? Well, that also depends on the wind. If we get that marine air coming in, it's going to help to stabilize the air and kill these storms off before they have a chance to make it here. And then you can see here is Thursday with those strong winds. So let's go and look at the wind first of all. So can kind of visualize this front coming through on Wednesday. So there are the storms, and you can see there's the wind, and then this is the wind for Thursday. I mean, I don't think it'll be wind advisory criteria, but it's going to be pretty breezy with those tight isobars. All right. So let me go to the NAM 3. Let me see if the NAM 3 actually goes out that far so we can actually look at this. So let's use this plot here, radar and wind. So this kind of helps us show the front. So here is Wednesday, and you can clearly see here's that front squall line comes through. This is around 5 o'clock Wednesday. It's over New Jersey, and it comes through New York City about 6 o'clock, and then over Long Island. It might fizzle out, but it might not. I mean, but there is a south wind here, which is off the ocean, which really helps stabilize things. But this front is a sharp front, so there could be a chance of severe weather with this, and that is going to have to be watched, sure. We'll have to look at more into this later, but this is definitely a concern here with this line like this. We can also look at the dew points. This will actually help show things a little bit. So you can see it is humid air. Dew points are going to get up into the 50s. And then look at how much drier the air is behind that front. So that right there can be a focal point also. So there's a lot of things that are kind of working in favor of a severe weather event. More likely New York City over New Jersey, but I still don't think we're out of the woods yet. These storms move fast enough. They could still pack a punch by the time it gets to Long Island. We'll have to see what happens. But that looks like a pretty impressive severe weather event right there, for sure. We'll go ahead and might as well look at the sky cover map as we look at the NAM here. And look at tomorrow. You'll see it'll be serious around. I don't think it'll be a really nice clear sky. You have to wait for that front to come through and clear things out as we get into Thursday. That's as far as the NAM goes for Thursday. I can look at the RGM model, which goes a little further. And you will see here Thursday we should have more sun over New Jersey. It looks like Long Island may see some more clouds. This is just instability cloudiness again. I think Long Island would feature more sun on Friday, perhaps. We can always look at the GFS. Of course, it has such low resolution, so it's really hard to see what's happening here. But the bottom line is we will have better air in our area on Thursday as a result of these colder air coming to the picture. So let's look at the temperatures here on the GFS, so you'll see what I mean. So here's what happens on Wednesday, and you could see the sea breeze effect on Long Island clearly demonstrated here on this GFS. Much cooler temperatures, generally low 60s, but in Jersey, you're still shooting well up into the 70s. And then this is why I don't want to have to live in New Jersey. It's so hot there. I don't know how I could survive. I mean, it's hot enough here in the middle of the island. Now, Thursday, you can see much cooler temperatures. We're going to struggle to reach 50 degrees, especially over Long Island. Maybe you'll see 50 in Jersey with a little more sun. And then we warm it up a little closer to average, still below normal on Friday. It's like cooler temperatures over Long Island with the mid-50s, maybe 60 or better in Jersey. You can see as we get to the weekend, we'll start seeing maybe more of a moderating trend. And then Sunday, obviously, we got that storm nearby. And if we go a little further out into the long range, you'll see you'll see a couple of warm days here and there. Wow, that's a warm day. So there you go. It looks like it's producing one really warm day there for April 28th, well into 70s. Maybe somebody sees 80. So it looks like, yeah, there is going to be a little 3-day stretch of some warm weather, but it won't last, and then it cools off. But there's a couple of opportunities for some really warm weather in there. For those who really want it, that will have to be watched, obviously. And if the winds go westerly during that, then we really would be quite warm on Long Island. Actually, I can look at the wind flow for that. It's April 28th, right? Let's see. I see a southwest wind. Yeah, I see a south wind. So hopefully there'd be a sea breeze to at least moderate it on Long Island. Look, I don't want 80 degrees. That's too hot. Too hot for April. I'm sorry. Way too hot for April. Let's go look at the Ventu sky. It'll be the next thing we'll look at is that thunderstorm threat. The Cape. This is for Wednesday now. So we look at Wednesday for the Cape here, 5 o'clock. It's not really showing much. Well, there it is. Actually has it a little earlier, 2 o'clock there. You can see it over New Jersey. So this is using the HRRR model, and you can see it moves it through New Jersey, actually. But then it kind of weakens it by the time it gets to Long Island, which would be understandable due to that marine influence. But you could sort of see where that front is. But here, let's move this to the lifted index, because I bet this is going to be a lot more impressive. Oh, and it sure is. So, yeah, that's favorable for some pretty heavy thunderstorms. You can see what happens, though, when it moves over Long Island. It kind of falls apart. So generally, I think you have a much better chance of seeing some severe weather if you're in New Jersey versus here. Let's go look at the one other thing I want to look at. That's the Storm Prediction Center. So we're going to look at that because we really do have to watch this. Let's see. Day 3. It would be the day 3. They have a day 3 convective outlook. Yes, they do. And they put our area, part of it, looks like western part of Long Island, New York City, and New Jersey, down in the mid-Atlantic through the Delmarva, Maryland, Delaware, and part of Virginia, and a marginal risk for severe weather. So this is something we're going to have to watch with this front because we'll have a better idea. We'll have more models to look at tomorrow. But the possibility is definitely there, considering this is a strong cold front. And there's a huge difference in the air masses. The front's moving at a good pace. So it really does have the and it's got plenty of energy in the upper atmosphere to do something. So we'll have to see what happens, and we'll have a better idea of it, I guess, for tomorrow. But other than that, tomorrow we should have some sunshine. Probably be a lot of passing clouds, haze in the air from smoke, and not great air quality. Like I said, we have to wait for this front to come through on Wednesday to really clear the air out so we can breathe again. So I think that's going to wrap up this weather update. Take care, and thank you for watching.